Hey, we're Chips and Salsa.
And in this video, we're going to be reviewing BookShark Virtual.
Hey, I'm Jimena.
And I'm Dee Dee.
And we are so glad that you are here today. It's been a while since we've recorded a video. We've been hard working on our podcast. If you haven't listened to it, check it out.
It's called Homeschool Your Way, a podcast by BookShark.
Okay, so today we're going to review BookShark Virtual. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. It's brand new, came out this year.
Yes, and it couldn't have come out at a better time. Our youngest are in 8th grade this year, so it's all about getting them ready for high school, setting them up for success. So, independence.
Yes, so this is actually geared for parents who want their children to be a little bit more independent. And I actually know some parents that during the pandemic decided to homeschool, and they're still homeschooling, but they're full-time working parents.
Right.
And this is like the perfect thing for them, because instead of you having to, physically ask questions or have, to check everything, it's all there for you on Canvas. So let's get started.
One of the things that we really love about BookShark in the first place is that everything is laid out for you and organized so you know exactly what you're supposed to do for each day of the week for 36 weeks. And so now we don't just know, the kids know.
Yeah, well, and actually the levels that we're doing, they have their own little schedule.
Yes.
But I would still want to make a list for them, for them to check off. That's a little bit more customized.
You don't have to.
I know.
With BookShark Virtual, the same schedule that's printed out in their papers is on Canvas.
Yeah, so basically that's all it is instead of looking at it, physically on a paper, it's going to be on Canvas. And why is this good? Well, I have found with my daughter taking some classes in high school, they use Canvas a lot. And when they take, community college classes, they use Canvas. So it's a good tool to have, and it's a good thing to train, get your kids kind of used to it, because they will have to use it, most likely.
If you're not already familiar, Canvas is a pretty popular, what is it called? Is that like a software platform?
It's a platform.
So it's a platform online that colleges and high schools use to, and I guess other schools as well, utilize to teach the course. So they'll have different courses, and they can put on lessons, they can put quizzes on there, announcements for their classes. So the fact that BookShark is using this, like you said, is just a setup for later on.
Yeah. Well, there is a learning curve, right, as a parent.
Yes.
Because when I first went in, I saw that there wasn't a green little check mark on the assessments, and my children weren't seeing the assessments. And so it was confusing, and I didn't really know how to fix that.
Yes, so if you decide to get BookShark Virtual, come back to this video to say, what did they tell me about that again? Because you do have to hit the publish button, and that took a couple of tries to get it to work right.
Yeah. Now that being said, BookShark has provided a YouTube channel exclusively for this, and they have some great instructional videos that I have found very helpful.
Yeah.
But the publishing thing wasn't on one of those, and I think that's important. So we figured it out. Once you figure it out, it's super easy. You literally just click, and then it's published.
So let's talk about the schedule. This is a great feature of BookShark Virtual because the student can look on their Canvas course and click on schedule and see exactly where they should be in their pacing guide, what things are covered, which books they're going to need, and they don't have to ask you, and you don't have to make a checklist.
Another thing that we love is the story map tour. So this is kind of like some interactive maps or virtual tours, or even videos of the things that they're going to be exploring and reading about. So it's kind of a nice intro, right? To get them excited about what they're going to read. My children have really enjoyed those.
Oh, good. So you can customize it however you want. So I've been going over them with my daughter. So we'll sit and look through it once a week. At least that's the way we've been doing it. And it highlights everything that was in the reading. Even if they just mentioned something in the reading, there'll be like a picture of it or a map. Sometimes there's statues or monuments from the places. So that's kind of cool because you see a picture and you'll see the map. So I'm having her do it with the physical printed out map, but you don't have to.
Yeah. And again, speaking of customization, like I only use it for history. That's what I've been using it for. And you've been using it more for language arts.
Yeah, so
right?
we have the subscriptions to the language arts and the history, but I haven't utilized all the features in the history yet. I have been using more of the language arts side.
Yeah. So I enjoy the history because I'm not reading those books with my kids. So I'm reading the literature one. So I don't feel a need for them to go and actually answer the comprehension questions because we are discussing the book as we're reading. But for history, I'm not reading those books. So I like to see that they're understanding and that they're grasping it. So this is a great gauge.
Yeah, so that brings us to the next thing we're enjoying is the assessments. For every reading assignment, there are assessment questions, and it was really cool that some of them were like multiple choice or pick all the right answers, and then some of them are, you know, answer the question, type it out, essay style, which aren't as fun.
No, but I like that they're just not comprehension questions like, you know, oh, let me look for it here. It's more like, you know, just the BookShark way, you know, like, let's really think about this topic.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? And what do you think would have happened if this wouldn't have happened? So it really gets the kids thinking deeper about these topics, which is really important to us as homeschoolers.
Yeah, well, and that's something we should mention. So there's a student portal and then there's a parent portal. So on the parent side, we are able not only to grade those assessments, but we can alter the assessment. It's completely customizable, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, you were saying that you took out some questions because they were too much.
When it's just fill in the blank. So on the literature side, there wasn't as many of those multiple choice kind of questions. It was more answer the questions, and it was a lot. Like some of them had 3 or 4 questions per chapter. So being the sweet mom that I am, I went through and deleted some of those questions so that it was more manageable for my daughter. And so I love that you're able to do that.
Yeah, and being the sweet mom that I am, I gave my kids some points that were kind of marked wrong because the map is kind of sensitive. You know, there's some maps where they have to click, hey, where is Cuba, or things like that. And sometimes if they mark it just a little bit off, it'll mark it wrong. And so I give it to them because I see that they were really close, and I know that my kids know where Cuba is. So, you know, things like that. So you're able to fudge the points. You're able to, you know, give them points even when BookShark marks it wrong. It's really great.
Yeah. Okay.
A's for everybody.
The fudging the points is pretty cool. So, and on the literature side, every week they have some kind of writing assignment that is due, and they can upload their writing assignment onto the Canvas course, and then you can put in the score. So my daughter was very surprised that she didn't get 100. But it's good for her.
Right. Keep them growing. Keep them growing.
That's right.
Another cool thing is that you can add comments. So let's say they answer this question that's completely wrong. You can either call them over, which I've done with my daughter many times, and be like, hey, I think this is what they asked for. Sometimes I just wanted to see if she understood, so I'll ask her right there, and then I'll give her the points, you know, just so that she feels good about it.
Yeah.
And then also you can write comments right there for the whole week, like, hey, great job, this was really amazing, and you get motivating them that way.
And then Jimena just told me that in the settings you can give them an option for multiple attempts.
Yeah.
So if they miss something, they can try again, which I didn't know, so I'm going to be going in and changing that.
Yeah, and you can put unlimited attempts or limited, and you can put how many times you want them to try it, and you can even have it timed. And number 4, which we already covered a lot of these things, is the Gradebook. So you have all your grades right there, all averaged out for you, and you can grade them on a curve if you wanted to. You can,
right?
Again, you can fudge their overall score if you wanted to. If you wanted to change their overall score. And again, the speed grader, which is the tool that they use to grade, is really easy to use and it's really great.
Yeah, so if there's a multiple choice or pick the right answers type question, you don't have to go through and answer those ones. It's done automatically. You just have to go in and grade the essay type questions or fill in the blanks.
I like that I don't have to go dig in some answer key for what the answer is.
Right.
Or in my big BookShark binder, I like that the answers are right there for you. As you're scrolling and you're grading, it'll tell you suggested answer. Sometimes it'll say answers will vary because it's more about their opinion.
Right.
But then you could read the question real quick and be like, that's a pretty good answer, and click it. So I've been grading these very fast, and I've been very consistent with it because it's so user-friendly.
So, I am kind of loving the BookShark Virtual, I must say. I'm still getting the groove of it, but
yeah,
so far so good.
Yeah, if you get it at first and you feel overwhelmed, it's normal because you're like, what? How do I, but just watch some of those instructional videos, watch this video, and then you'll be on your way, because really you don't need to use all the features that they have on there.
Right.
They have a lot of bells and whistles, but BookShark has made it so that everything is populated in, and all you have to do, like what you really have to do, is minimal. So if you just stick to that, you're going to be great.
Yeah, I think that is one of the things, because it is colleges use this platform. There's a lot there that you won't be using with one of these courses.
Right, yeah.
But these are really great for middle schoolers or high schoolers. Like we said, setting them up for the future, setting them up for more independent work. And I'm excited to continue to use it this year.
Yeah, and it's available for Math UC, for English, for history, and for science.
Yeah, and BookShark's new science is much more integrated this year, so that's really exciting.
Yeah. Well, finally, we just want to say that BookShark gave us a free 1-year trial for BookShark Virtual in exchange for this honest review, and we hope that it has helped you, that it has inspired you to try it out. It's actually pretty cheap to get it, and it's an add-on to whatever you already ordered, whatever level you already ordered. So
right.
If you haven't done it, check it out.
Also, you can try before you buy. So go to bookshark.com/virtual to order a sample.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe.
And follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Chips and Salsa Ladies.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.